Hey everyone, welcome to Layoff. So what? I started this channel because I've been exactly where a lot of you are, or might be soon. And I wish someone had told me what I was looking at when the signs were right in front of me. So today, we're talking about 5 signs that you might be on the layoff list. Not rumors, not paranoia, but real, observable patterns that show up, often quietly, before the conversation you never wanted to have. This isn't about panic, it's about awareness. Because the people who come out of layoffs stronger are almost always the people who saw it coming and gave themselves time to prepare. Let's get into it. Sign number 1. You're being cut out of key meetings. Let's start with one of the earliest and most overlooked signals. Think back 6 months ago. Were you in those weekly stand-ups? The strategy offsites? The roadmap reviews? Now ask yourself, are you still in those rooms? Because here's the thing. When companies start cutting someone loose, they stop including them in conversations about the future. It's not an oversight, it's intentional. You're not being scheduled out of those meetings because they're trying to protect your calendar. They're protecting the plan, their plan, from you. If you're finding out about decisions after they've already been made, if your calendar is thinning out, if your input is no longer being sought on anything that matters going forward, that's not a coincidence. That's a company quietly preparing to operate without you. Cold. This one is personal, and it can really mess with your head. There was a time when your manager gave you real feedback. They pushed back. They coached you. They checked in. Maybe they even had your back in difficult conversations. And then, something shifted. Suddenly the one-on-one meetings are getting canceled. Or they happen but they feel hollow. Yeah, looks good. Anything else? The warmth is gone. The engagement is gone. Here's what's actually happening. Managers who know someone is on the list often emotionally detach. They don't want to invest in a relationship that's about to end. Some of them feel guilty. Some of them are just trying to protect themselves. Either way, if your manager has become a stranger, don't ignore that. Trust your gut. You know the difference between a busy week and a shift in dynamic. Sign number 3. They're reorging your team away from you. This one is one of the most direct signals, and somehow people still miss it. You built your team. You hired some of them. You've managed them through tough projects and growing pains. And now, out of nowhere, your manager is talking about flattening the structure or streamlining reporting lines. Your direct reports start being moved to other managers. Your scope shrinks from team lead to individual contributor. And it's framed as efficiency, as growth, as good news for the org. Let me be direct. When a company takes your people away from you, they are removing the parts of your role that are hardest to eliminate quietly. They're reducing your footprint. They're making it easier, logistically and emotionally, to let you go. A manager without a team is often a manager who isn't a manager for much longer. If this is happening to you, don't wait to find out what comes next. Start having conversations, internally and externally, about what your next chapter looks like. Sign number 4. You're being asked to teach everything, fast. Knowledge transfer is a normal part of any healthy organization. Rushed knowledge transfer is something else entirely. There's a big difference between, let's make sure your work is documented in case you ever need coverage, and, hey, can you get Sarah up to speed on all of your projects by end of next week? One is good practice. The other is preparation. When someone is being asked to hand off institutional knowledge on an accelerated timeline, when a colleague is suddenly shadowing everything they do, when they're being asked to document processes they've owned for years with a sense of urgency, that's not about cross-training. That's about making sure the machine keeps running after a particular part is removed. If you're suddenly in teaching mode, pay close attention to who is being taught and how fast they're being onboarded to your world. Sign number 5. Your manager or key stakeholders are leaving. This one doesn't get talked about enough, because it feels indirect. It isn't. In most organizations, your career is protected by the people who know your work. Your manager, that VP who championed your last project, the executive sponsor who got your team budget approved. These are your advocates. And when they leave, whether they resign, get restructured out, or simply move to a different part of the business, your protection leaves with them. The person who walks in after them. They have no context on what you've built. No relationship with you. No reason to go to bat for you. In fact, new leadership often comes with their own agenda, and that agenda frequently includes assessing whether the existing team is the right team. So if your manager just left, or a key stakeholder just departed, don't assume the incoming person will see you the way your advocate did. Go out of your way to build that relationship fast. Make your value visible. Don't wait to be evaluated, go create the narrative. Alright, that's 5 signs. And look, if you're watching this and nodding along to 2, 3, 4 of these. Take a breath now. Seeing these signs doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're paying attention. And that's actually your biggest advantage right now. Next step. Update your resume. Just start it. Reconnect with 2 or 3 people in your network, not to ask for anything, just to be visible. And get really clear on what you've built and what you're worth. Getting laid isn't easy, but if you start early, it forced you to stop waiting for someone else to define my path. So, laid off, so what? In the next episode, we will discuss how to handle a layoff emotionally and practically. Please subscribe, drop a comment, and tell me, which of these signs hit closest to home? I read everything. See you in the next one.